Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel The Soulful Diary. Today we are going to discuss a poem Chicago Zen by AK Ramanujan. What does the title Chicago Zen mean? The title refers to a Zen who is not from America but from South India who has moved to America to learn from the Zen. Forget about what you were, where you were, live where you are. Try to be happy. Why to worry about? Live in the present moment because it is all that matters. Before we dive deep into the poem, let me give you a quick glimpse about the poem. The poem is the best example of hybridity, transculturalism, and transnationalism. The poet tries to tell his feelings and experiences when he is abroad or in Chicago, USA. The poem is divided into four parts of unequal lengths. The poem is the best example of Zen Buddhist philosophy of life. There is a gap in India, imagined from far, and India seen from closely. After living in the West, faith and inner peace are good, but can progress and development be regressed? Steps are to be taken for a leap of not to backtrack. The dwelling is where you live in. The apartment you belong to, the flat you have rented or taken, needs to be kept tidy and clean. The poet starts the poem in the same way as he starts his other poems, dealing with his wit, humor, irony, satire, caricature, jib, contrast, and cunning. The mystic drum of South India beats he just as a professor of folklore, rituals, and rites leave him not behind as a trail of thoughts and ideas. Part 1. Now tidy your house, dust, especially your living room, and do not forget to name all your children. These lines have two different meanings. The first meaning is very simple. It is said that it is necessary to keep house clean where we live. It is even more necessary to keep the living room clean because whosoever will come home, they first sit in living room. The poet suggests that living room means mind. It is necessary to keep your mind clean. He further says that one should not fill one's mind with much knowledge and information. He believes that the more we learn, the more we get confused and finally we are lost. In short, he says that one must live with minimum burden of knowledge and information. While in the next two lines, the poet highlights the importance of name and surname when we are in country like USA. It is only because of our name we are able to show our identity as an Indian in Chicago. Part 2. Watch your step. Sight may strike you. Blind in unexpected places. The traffic light turns orange on 57th and Dorchester and you stumble. You fall into a vision of forest fires, enter a frothing Himalayan river. Rapid silent, on the 14th floor, Lake Michigan crawls and crawls. The poet says that when you are in a place like Chicago, everything is new for you. Not only that, but whatever you see, it is unexpected and totally surprise for you. Beginning from people, culture, atmosphere, things, food, etc. are new and unexpected for you. Things are unexpected at such a level that for a moment you will be blind and mad. The poet confesses the reality as living in fog. After this, there is a sudden change in the poem. He becomes confused and talks about Himalayan river and Lake Michigan of USA. He says that in USA, traffic lights look orange colored. The whole scene of traffic light looks like wild forest fire. In short, there is constant change in the thought of poet because he is confused between Indian cultures and American culture. In the window, your thumbnail cracks a lobster louse on the window pane. From your daughter's hair, and you drown eyes open. Towards the Indies, the antipodes and you always so perfectly sane. In such confusing situation, Ramanujan finds out way. He decides that whatever he sees, he should not be surprised, just remain indifferent about new place, Chicago. For this, he uses the word perfectly sane. He says, and you always so perfectly sane. Here, the poet says that when you are in a foreign country at that time, you need to feel that you are sane. Sane means you are able to think and you have to accept new world when you are outside your home or country. In short, one should not surprise in foreign world, but one should behave normally and simple in a foreign land. Part 3. Now you know what you always knew. The country cannot be reached by jet nor by boat on jungle fire, hashish behind the monkey temple, nor moonshoot to the cratered sea of tranquility, slim circus girls on a tightrope between tree and tree with white parasols or the one and only blue guitar, nor by any other means of transport, migrating with a clean valid passport. No, not even by transmigrating without any passport at all, but only by answering ordinary black telephones, questions walls and small children ask, and answering all calls of nature. The poet now talks about one serious problem faced by Indians who live in abroad. He says that one cannot come to India whenever one wants. The reason is the foreign countries are very strict about visa, passport and travelling regulation. Even the fare and tickets are very expensive which Indian can't afford, so when one miss home, children, wife, village etc. at that time he feels very bad and cries because he cannot go to meet them. Since the family is 7 seas away, it is not possible to frequently visit home. The poet hopelessly says the country cannot be reached by jet nor by boat or jungle river. When you miss home, neither jet nor plane boat will help you because due to the rules of passport and visa, you cannot travel home for some fixed time. The poet then suggests that there is only one way to go to home in India. According to him, one can go home only by answering ordinary black telephones, questions wall, and answering all calls of nature. The poet says that one can feel that one is at home by calling the people at home. He can be at home by talking with his children. He can be at his village by remembering farm, river, and other natural surrounding. In short, among all immigrants, the remembrance of home, children, and natural surrounding would take the person home. Part 4. Watch your step. Watch it, I say, especially at the first high threshold and the sudden low one near the end of the flight of stairs, and watch for the last step that's never there. Towards the end of the poem, the poet warns all those people who are new to Chicago. Life in Chicago is very difficult, so one must be very careful. Living in Chicago is staircase. He says, watch your step and watch for the last step that is never there. The poet talks about escalator. In escalator, person has to be careful when he climbs because it is constantly in motion. In escalator, there is no last step or first step. It is like flowing river. The poet compares life with escalator and flowing river. According to him, in all conditions, life goes on and on. Life never stops for anyone, and every moment is new and priceless. All these ideas about life is taken from Zen Buddhist philosophy of life. Zen Buddhist believes life is a continuous process. The poet talks about so many things in his poem, Chicago Zen. Poetic devices. Enjambment. The poet has used enjambment throughout the poem. Symbolism. The poet has used a lot of symbolism in the poem. like the Himalayan River and Lake Michigan. Thank you. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you tomorrow in next video at 4 p.m. sharp.